use the perking machines in Braille, and then he would have to go to a teacher to transcribe it in letters. And now he will be using the same Word document as his teacher. So this will also help in the inclusion of the child, and it will ease the relation that he has with his teacher and with his peers. We need to make sure that technology is possible. We still need to work on awareness raising. And as far as training, I would like to add one last comment. This morning in the roundtable with universities on the subject of accessibility, including accessibility in the different engineering and telecommunications studies, it would be interesting to include perhaps this subject in schools or in teacher schools, because the future, the teachers of the future will have to deal with that in 10 years' time. And it would be, therefore, important that they also have a certain degree of knowledge on these issues. And I think that would be all for now. If you have any questions. Are there any questions in the audience? Well, if not, well, I do have a few for you. I think that your comments have been very interesting, and I would like to ask you about the evolution. What do you think, how things are going to progress? And just like Elias made a few comments, we are already using EPUB and DAISY. Is there any direction towards which the different application and contexts are converging? Do you see any clear line here? No, we don't have any clear lines. Ever since we started studying these issues, we have seen that people are becoming more concerned, and there are things that are more or less accessible. However, the problem is that everyone does things in their own way, and we would need to make sure that the communities, the different regions, or that the Ministry of Education, whenever they organize a call for tenders for educational contents financed by the ministries, by the authorities, establish this as a requisite. Because, well, 2 years ago, there was a call for tender, and we managed to introduce this as a recommendation. But it should be a prerequisite, because a requirement. Because, well, if you're 40 years old and you cannot read the newspapers on the internet, well, it's a shame. But the problem is that if the educational contents are not accessible, we are going to marginalize many children. So that when the administration publish their specifications, they should include this as a requirement. But I think today everyone is doing their own thing, and some develop this in Flash, others in Java, others in HTML. And a long time ago, I asked a developer, and it was about a bar where the tiling on the floor was purple, and then the tables were purple. And I asked him to change colors, and he said that this was really sort of this really was against his artistic sensitivity. But things are changing. So for this we need regulations, and that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to have a specific regulation for educational contents. Oh, that's perfect. I am totally agree with you, and one of the guidelines which was mentioned this morning is the need not only to have guidelines but to make sure that they're complied with, which is the important part. So thank you very much for your presentation.